volume's down. Good evening. Here we go. Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. The Celtic team is just about to be announced, and we can get it just as it happens. Just as it happens. I'll just double check the volume on this. As soon as the team is out, we will get it live up on the screen. Also, it should be out in about the next 10 seconds or so, as long as Celtic get their act together. And it's out. Schmeichel, Johnston, Trusty, Scales, Alex, Baye, McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Kuhn, Maeda, and Adam Idah starts. Adam Idah starts, Kyogo. That is the shock news coming. Shock team news. No one expected Kyogo. No one expected Kyogo to be dropped. Kyogo has been dropped for Adam Idah. Let me just get this on the screen. Wow, that's the breaking news in the wet and terrible weather. The picture that you see on the screen is fans trying to get into the stadium as we speak, and the weather is absolutely terrible in Italy this evening. Let me just do this and I'll get this team up on to the screen for you. And that is the team. Big changes. Kasper Schmeichel, Alistair Johnson, Trusty, Scales, Alex, Baye, McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Kuhn, Maeda and Adam Idah. He's going for a bit of strength up front rather than Kyogo, which is the big shock news of this evening so far. Let me just get this up. Transparent background, download, and then upload. Just be 2 more seconds. In the bench, Sinisalo, Bain. And then if I just do this, I'll get it up onto the screen first. Image. Browse. Okay. That and up. There we go. The team is on the screen. I'll take down the picture of the fans trying to get into the game whilst we talk about the team. Obviously, Sinisalo, Bain, Palma, Kyogo, Yang, McCowan, Norowski, Rocky's on the bench, Bernardo, Forrest, Ralston and Welsh. You're expecting Ralston and Welsh to be on the bench just purely for the Scottish contingent. We all know that they're on the bench generally for that. But the big shock news that I don't think anyone that predicted the team was going to go with Adam Idah up front rather than Kyogo. I would have gone with Adam. No plan B now, says Wee Man Shan. Let's jump into the comments and get your immediate reaction, and then we can jump on to the land of Twitter. Jim is in the house in the evening. RJX says hail. Kyle says hi. Paul Bell says hi. Stephen Johnson says hi. Wee Man Sham says alright, Celtic. Lanky, Idah is starting. Yes, Adam Idah is starting. That is the shock news that we broke at the start of the video. What do you think of Adam Idah starting tonight? The weather's terrible. The picture that we do have on the screen, I'll put it back on the screen, is here, and that is a picture of the fans trying to get into the stadium this evening. The weather isn't too great, and as you'd expect, there's loads of coppers there. I'm kind of glad I'm not there now because the weather is absolutely terrible. But that was a picture sent to our WhatsApp group, and that's the Celtic fans trying to get into the stadium early. Rubbish weather, innit? Let's get rid of that picture and then jump back into the comment section and see what you're all saying about the team out. Dreading this, says Carly. And Nicola says, afternoon, Baz for the Malton Provos. Get a draw. If you can get a draw tonight, it'd be fantastic. I fancy a draw. The big man up front. It looks like we're going for power up front. You can understand why the manager's done it. The fact that they will try and man-mark Kyogo and push him off the ball. It's maybe a good thing bringing on Kyogo as an impact striker rather than the main striker. I think that's probably a good thing. But we'll see how the tactics come out. I fancy a draw with a big man up front. Tim's in the house, we man Sham. I wouldn't have gone with Adam either. No plan B now, he thinks. And Alex Todd says, hail, hail. Baz Lanky return says, in my opinion, Adam Ida starting makes a lot of sense, especially with link-up play and strength against a three-man centre-back defence. A three-man centre-back defence, it is. I'm just going to share this on Twitter, just to let people know we're live. I've not done that. Rio Hatate makes his 100th appearance for Celtic this evening. Congratulations to Rio Hatate. Come on, Celtic, Jesus. I'm going to jump into the land of Twitter first of all, and we'll get the comments on Twitter. Just not letting me do it. If I do this, I want to see what fans are saying to it online. Carter Vickers isn't even getting a game against check notes. Carter Vickers didn't make the flight. If Atalanta go easily below par, expect 4-0 by half time. Jesus. I'd have started 5 midfielders and put Engels, McGregor, double pivot, played Hatate, Bernardo, McCown, and a narrow 3 ahead of him. Maida as a lone striker, running himself into the ground for 65 minutes. There's still enough creativity there to cause problems, says one guy. Please keep it under 5 for my mental health. Cheers. This is the day that we get pumped away. The substitutes for me are my main concern. Brendan hasn't learned from his first time around. A lot of people are excited the fact that Adam either wrong lineup setup would have dropped Kuhn, put McCown in the middle, went for a 4-4-2. We're going to be left open again, says another one. That's going to hurt Kyogo, man. Hopefully he gets on when we're still in the game. Miss Cameron Carter Vickers, Miss Taylor, Trusty and Alex Bally have been shocking already. I'm just getting messages coming through on WhatsApp. God only knows why Brendan is so... Jesus. Oh. Yeah. Who knows? Going for Adam Ida over Kyogo is brave. Adam Ida offering an area challenge. Options on the bench. Come on, Celtic. Fair enough. Big test ahead. The honeymoon is over, Adam. You need to prove your worth tonight is another one. Best team available. Come on, boys. Hopefully we can hold them at bay and use Kyogo later in the game as they tire. Italians don't tire. They don't go up enough paces to tire. 7 or 8 now, maybe. Engels needed to start showing up. Dropping Kyogo, what a joke, says another. Yes, that's how somebody prepare myself for sadness. Right, lads, park the bus and get a 0-0. Don't get pumped. We are pumping. Just don't get pumped. What has Bernardo got to do? Lose less by 3, please. A lot of the Celtic fans aren't convinced at all by Brendan Rodgers' choices tonight. We are doomed. Lose by less than 3, please. Ada's been muck since he came back. Trusty is crap. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of negativity. Going around on the land of Twitter. Let's jump back onto Facebook and get the thoughts of people on the One Celtic Fans View channel for the live tonight. The live game tonight is the one and only Celtic, Atalanta versus Celtic in Italy. And I've got to say, the weather in Italy is absolutely atrocious this evening. It's not good at all. Right, Alex Todd's in the house. Lanky Returns is in the house. Sean says, what time's kickoff? Can't see thrashing fingers crossing Rogers. Yep. It is in 1 hour's time, 1 hour and 5 minutes from now. It will be at 5:45 Celtic Park time. It'll be 5:45 Celtic Park time. It's 6:45 here in Spain, and it'll be 7:45 in Italy. David says, hail, hail from Louisiana. I'm on the hoops. Keep it respectable. I could just feel the optimism coming out. Lanky. Carly's still trying to buy a YouTube channel for Lanky. Brains is out for Halloween dressed as a goalkeeper. Bain's out for Halloween dressed as a goalkeeper. Yep. Can see 5-1 and don't want to be great tonight. Lol. 2 only trying to put himself in the shop window. It'd be better with Bernardo. I'd happily take a score draw. Celtic Girls says, I have to say I enjoyed watching Dortmund getting a taste of their own medicine last night. The faces were a picture. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second or two. I watched the Real Madrid Dortmund game in full last night, and I tell you one thing, although Dortmund went 2 up against Real Madrid in the first 34 minutes, you're thinking, oh wow, maybe Dortmund are the real deal. Maybe they are the real deal when it comes to Champions League level football. They annihilated Celtic 7-1, but then about 10 minutes later, it was 10 or 15 minutes later, I can't even remember when the first goal was, but in the second half, the performance by Real Madrid, it was one-way traffic. I mean, they made Dortmund look like Celtic. You've got to be honest, they made Dortmund look like Celtic last night. It was one-way traffic. One-way traffic. They got 2 quick goals to get back in contention, and then towards the end of the game, it was just one-way traffic, and Dortmund could do absolutely nothing in particular. Say it again. Ooh. It's lyrics for a song if you don't know. But anyway, yeah, Dortmund were made to look like boys last night. Got to say it, Dortmund were made to look like boys last night. What it's done to Celtic in the Champions League so far, it's pushed Celtic down the Champions League table. It has pushed us down the table. You see table, because I don't have it on the screen since we're not in second position anymore. So the Aston Villa are top of the Champions League table. Let me just get it to open up, more standards. And it has pushed Celtic down to 23rd. Celtic are now pushing nearer the danger zone. There is a lot of football to be played after tonight. There is a lot of football to be played after tonight. Let's not forget about it. But there's a lot of teams on 3 games. And the only one team in the Champions League so far to be on maximum points, unbelievably or not, is going to be Aston Villa. Aston Villa. Can Celtic get anything from Aston Villa at the last game of the Champions League group stage? It is a long time away. It is in January, and at the end of January. Let's think about that closer to the time. There's a lot of games at Celtic Park that we will have to win. We're going to have to win at least 3 of these. We're going to have to win 3 games at Celtic Park to have any chance whatsoever. Can we get anything from this lot tonight? Well, we're going to have to wait another 1 hour and 3 minutes till kick-off, and then we shall see what Celtic can bring to the table tonight. Will it be a respectable result as far as Celtic are concerned? A lot of the people on social media are saying they just don't want it to be a mauling. Don't sit back, Rodgers, it's murder. We need to be cautious, says Sean. Haggis Neeps and Hatati says that he's just on this account to wind up Carly. Real Madrid were top class though. Yes, they were top class last night, and you can understand why they've won the Champions League so much, because when it mattered, they proved their quality, and that's what we're up against at this level. And it's a quality of football player that is way beyond the reach of Celtic. I mean, if they could do that, if Real Madrid could do that to Dortmund, who absolutely annihilated Celtic, and it did on a better day, would Celtic have fared any better than 7? I think once the first 3 goals went in the first half, Celtic just looked scared. Would Celtic had played any better at home? I think they would have. I think if the Dortmund game was at Celtic Park, I don't think it would have been 7. I definitely don't think it would have been 7. But we can't change the past, and it is where we are in Champions League. The upside is that we do have 3 points on the table. We need either Johnston, Maida to be a bit sneaky and break up the Atalanta momentum at certain moments. We will be rotters we would be rotters to win in Italy, let's face it. We'll need to be rotters to win in Italy. He says yes. Paul says he's going for 1-0 or 2-1 Celtic. Can you realistically can you realistically see Celtic getting anything from the game tonight, especially with the team that Brendan Rodgers has put out? It doesn't look like he's going to go. Or will he pull Kuhn and Maida back into the midfield area? Will Brendan Rodgers go for a 4-5-1 type of formation that is a bit more, and then leave Adam Ida up front on his own to try and bully the three defenders, try and get something out of defenders, but try and get a long ball up to him. Maybe he can hold it off, and then in come the two wingers at pace. If he could do that, if you get a high ball up to the one and only Adam Ida, and then oncoming the pace of the attack. Maybe that's the tactics Brendan Rodgers is kind of hoping for, and getting a high ball up from midfield up to the big man. He can hold it up even for a couple of seconds while the pace of Diaz and Maida coming in, and the pace of Nico Kuhn. You've got to say Nico Kuhn does have a good bit of pace about him also. If they can come in with some... I'm trying to bum up the game as much as I can from a Celtic perspective, but we know that Celtic were absolutely mauled by Dortmund, but Dortmund were showing up to be not that good last night in Spain. So with all the hype being about how good the Italians are, can Celtic turn it on their head tonight? You've got to remember, Celtic would have been looking and watching that Dortmund game last night to see how Dortmund react, and to see how good, if Dortmund are really the real deal, because Brendan Rodgers would be saying as well, so look, Dortmund is a team that fancies themselves at the Champions League, so don't be too disjointed about this the Dortmund game. And then he would have sat and said, let's sit and watch this Dortmund game together, and anything's possible. It was Real Madrid. Come on, there's absolutely no chance that Celtic could do a Real Madrid. But can they win? Can they win? And just, it's not even a case about winning. I think we're all concerned just trying to even draw, please, Celtic. Oh Jesus. Haggis leaps the hat is laughing. AR says, so if we played Madrid last night, it would have been 12. Yeah, more than likely. Going on with that. Ian Royce says, we don't have enough height in our team, which is a bit concerning when it comes to set pieces. He'll have Baz from sunny Florida, says Ian. And I'm going to guarantee a Celtic win tonight. Oh, don't. I can't even read the rest of it. Atalanta lie 6th in Serie A, conceding 13. I fancy we get a goal or two. This is true, Ian. They have been shipping goals. The Italian media have admitted this, that they've been shipping goals in the Italian league. Now, in Europe, they've been on a fine run of form since last season, although they did drop points earlier on the first game. They did drop points. William says, hail Baz. I'd be happy with a point. Glasgow's green and white. We're due another good result in Italy. We've had good results in Italy before, and I think a draw would be perfect. I think it would be perfect going into the rest of and it would give the fans a little bit of pride back in the team. And I think that's what Brendan Rodgers will be going for tonight. He said, look, this isn't about just getting a draw or keeping it respectable. This is about getting a bit of pride back for you as players. Some people will say that we're the laughing stock of Europe, conceding 5 goals in the first half of a game. And Brendan Rodgers will want to rectify that. And has he got the players in the squad tonight? Has he got the starting team? And has he ultimately changed the tactics of the team to be more defensive, but at the same time have attacking threat? And I think if he pulls the two wingers into midfield, so we're tighter in midfield, I think he will have a chance, but we won't know until the game starts if he's going to change that. Anything less than 7-1 is an improvement, says Chilpil. Maida was our best man against Dortmund. We need to back him for 100% Alex Baye. There's another picture just coming in. Just let me check this. Yeah, it's just the formation. I've got that. Let me just get rid of What's up? Baz, I'm over here in the Philippines. It's an early start. This is a real help. I had him a score to justify selection. And I could go with this, but I reckon he might have been better with Paulo Bernardo in the team. Rather, I mean, what does Paulo Bernardo have to do at this level to get a game? I mean, he must be thinking, do you know, I signed for Celtic because Arne Engels wasn't there at the time, and you're thinking, people knew that O'Reilly was going to be leaving the club, and there was a lot of speculation that the offers were coming in. So you would think that Paulo Bernardo would think, yeah, I must be guaranteed a spot on the team. But he's not getting a lot of starting time. And maybe the boss sees him more as an impact player, but when you've got a younger Arne Engels getting a game before you, and a Hatate who can be off and on the boil pretty much, and Paulo Bernardo must be sitting thinking, do you know, this is the stage that I was brought here to play at, and I'm not getting a game again. Callie will be delighted with a point. Opinionated Glaswegian says, I fear another pumping is in store. Agus Eeps and Hatates. Jerry Da says, hey Baz, I've done that one, sorry about that. Just in from Gova. Baz, actually don't think the Italians can handle the Scottish game. Well, there's one Italian that used to play for Atalanta and Celtic, and it's Massimo Donati. And he reckons that Brendan Rodgers is right to stay with the style of play that he has and keep their identity. I think he's now managing in Turkey, I believe. And Massimo Donati said that, have a go at Atalanta because he reckons that Celtic could take them on the evening. And he says at the end of the day, it is just the players on the pitch. Don't be silly here. We're up against a top team. Draw. Best result we can get for, to be realistic. Sean, are they a top team? They won the Europa. They've never done a lot in the Champions League. So, but neither are Celtic. So we are a Europa. We see ourselves more as a Europa team level. Let's be really honest. That's our level of football. But even then, in the Europa this year, there's some fantastic teams. And yeah, it's just going to. Tonight is all about showing that Celtic aren't a walkover. That's what Brendan Rodgers must say to the players: is do the simple things correct. Don't run out of position. Don't be too brave on the ball. Just do the simple things correct. Show that you're not a walkover at this level, and then we can take on the momentum. Once we get back to Celtic Park, we can take the momentum with the home games that we've got up and coming, and we can win the home games and get back up this table to make sure that we can get an extra 2 games in the Champions League, because we have to finish 24th or above to get these 2 extra games in the Champions League. Celtic Girl says, I agree, opinionated, gives me the heebie-jeebies at times, talking about some people's predictions. I'm just trying to get some more in the comments in. Palmer will be well pissed off. Yep, but Palmer's not been playing too terrific, so when he does come on, he is a bit selfish and gives the ball away at the last pass. Haggis Neeps Hatates says, tonight is the night we sing. This is the day that we win away. Not a chance. This is the day we sing in the rain. Because as this picture shows you, the fans aren't enjoying it too much because the weather is absolutely miserable in Italy this evening. And there's the fans and everybody getting searched as they go in through. Now this is fans trying to get in early. And it's normal for European away games, isn't it, really? Let me just get this back up here. Put that back up in the corner. We'll keep that there. So, yeah. I mean, Alistair Johnston, that he's going to have... We're hoping Alistair Johnston has a good game. Trusty. And everyone's bemoaning Trusty, but... him and Scales both together haven't been too clever. I mean, it's a massive disappointment for Brendan Rodgers that Cameron Carter-Vickers is not fit again for the most important part of the season. And I still say that Brendan Rodgers will look to strengthen the defenders in the next 2 coming windows. Don't be surprised if in the next 2 transfer windows we do bring in 2 big defenders. than ones that can stay fitter and play better at this level. Because I think with the players that we've got, I don't think there's much room for improvement with Scales. I don't think that he's going to get much better. He's advanced vastly as a player over the last couple of seasons, but can he get up there to Champions League defender type status? He has to stop out the silly mistakes, and the silly mistakes that he always makes, unfortunately, cost us goals. Now, Trusty hasn't been too clever. He is just in the door at Celtic. I mean, he does need time, but ultimately he plays in the exact same positions as Scales. So I think that those two would be fighting it out for that position if Cameron Carter-Vickers was 100% fit, which he's not, and he hasn't been at this stage for a few seasons now. In the midfield, you've also got Callum McGregor, Arne Engels and Hatate in that midfield. Callum McGregor is going to have the game of his life tonight to try and dominate against a dogged Italian team. Can he do it? Can he turn into a Scott Brown type player? He can read the game like Scott Brown, but he's not at Scott Brown's level, really, is he? I mean, he is consistent. He has been consistent over the years at Celtic, but he's always had better players and more experienced players in the team. And I think that's what let Callum McGregor down in this midfield, is the fact that he doesn't have the older, experienced player to help him along. He is the older, experienced player now, and that is maybe the downfall of this current Celtic team. Tell what you think of that. And then up front, well, you know what you're going to get from Dyson all day long. You're going to get nothing but pace, pace and pace. The Duracell Bunny will attack the Italians with pace. I'm just hoping that they sit quite high up the pitch. I don't think they will. I think they'll defend. Italians always defend quite deep, but if they're playing a three at the back, that means that they're going to push their five in the midfield right up onto the halfway line and over. That could give Celtic a little bit of an advantage when it comes to getting a high ball over the top of the Italians up to Adam Ida. If he can hold the ball up and then with the pace of the two wingers attacking the three at the back, maybe that's what Brendan Rodgers is going to go with, and maybe they've trained for that tactically during the last week or so. Because I'll tell you one thing, if we sit and allow them to do what Aberdeen did, and it's not going to be a good night for Celtic in Italy. Jim says Atalanta are a class act. I think we need to get them on an off night. Well, let's hope they do, because they do have a couple of injured players, so let's hope it is an off night. But they had an off night the opening game of the Champions League. Atalanta will have set up expected Kyogo for his pace. Big Ida could be a nightmare for them, and then the wee man comes on later on to run behind them. Peter Rennie says evening Baz, looking forward to the game. Hail hail. Celtic Girl says I'm surprised they didn't take Snow with them, Tom. They probably did. Just the what you're talking about. No silly red cards tonight. Excuse me a second, just while I do this. And then I'm just back onto this screen. Haggis Leaps and Tatty says we shouldn't get too cocky tonight. Show Atalanta some respect, and take it from there. Even if we need to sit deep, counter-attack, I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to sit deep and counter-attack. I think that's why he's got big Adam Ida up. So, do you know what the Italians like? They're dirty at the back. The Italian defenders would have ran at Kyogo, shoulder charged them. They will know that if you put Kyogo over, you're going to send them off with that shoulder of his. The boss would know that. You know what the Italians are like. So maybe they've went, right, Adam, this is your night to shine. This is your night to shine. He's got a bit of pace about him, Adam Ida. He can hit teams on the break, and he can also hold the ball up, I think, better than Kyogo, because of his overall size. That's going to be the big thing tonight. If Celtic can get, like I've said it before, if Celtic can get balls in from the midfield, a diagonal ball to Adam Ida, and then the two with pace, hitting them, well, we'll just need to see what it takes from there. Celtic Girl says, I hope we can close down passes like Real Madrid did last night. Well, if Celtic do anything like quarter of what Real Madrid did, it could be a good game. Tony says, hail to you, Baz. Please, at least no humping. Yeah, that's what I want. Opinionated Glasgow says, Trusty was running up the wing instead of running back into position against Dortmund. He cost us. most of the goals. Yeah, he did, and I'm hoping the defenders just defend. I'm not wanting none of. I want your two defenders to stay pretty much in front of the 18-yard box tonight. I don't want them attacking up the pitch. Just do the simple things. For the Scales is bad for doing it as well. We have to say that. I mean, he tries to get involved in play, and he gets left away out of position far too often. And I think that Brendan Rodgers will have drilled that into these two. Look, you're defenders tonight. It's not the SPFL. You don't have to go up and try and attack him because we're trying to break down this team. You two are going to have to defend for your life as if your life depends on it. And if you want to be known as a Celtic great defender, tonight's the one night to do it. The talk for Brendan's going to be easy tonight. These are the type of nights where you can come and make a name for yourself as a Celtic player. Just make sure it's in the right way and not the wrong way. Ian says, I've always loved the build-up for the Champions League games until it starts. I've always loved them as well. Haggis needs to attack. He says, right, troops, have an awesome night. Keep it green and white. Tony says, he'll help you, Stephen. Tam Mack says, Glasgow, cocky team, Lanky, you know that. Steve Johnson says, hail, come on, everyone, cheer up. Get cheerleading the team on. Glasgow's green and white says it's not cocky. I have a real sick feeling about tonight. I can't face another drubbing. I don't think it'll be a drubbing tonight. I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling that I don't know what will happen. It's more realistic. Celtic girl saying, right, I'm going to get my jammies on and get settled in. It won't be on during the game. Speak to everyone after it. We will be doing a live after the game. We will be going live straight after the game tonight. So make sure that you come back for that. We'll be going live. Why have two keepers on the bench? Is that the rule? Yes, it is in the Champions League. Tony says, God bless all the Celtic fans. Carly says she's away to start dinner. I won't eat unless. Bain is the T-boy tonight again. Baz, are you on at half time? I'll see. If I'm honest, yeah, I might jump on at half time. Yes, I'll jump on at half time. We'll do that. You never get many people on at half time, but we could jump on at half time. But the big one will be the hour long after the game. Yeah, we'll stay on for an hour after the game this evening. But yeah, we'll jump on for the 15-minute half-time chat just to see how Celtic were or are doing. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it will be good. Let's just go over the team again before we finish up this evening. Obviously, Kasper Schmeichel is in goals. We've got Alistair Johnston, Trusty, Scales and Alex Baye in defence. Callum McGregor sitting in midfield with Arne Engels and Rio Hatate up front. And then you've got Kuhn. Kuhn is in a fine form, so I'm hoping that Kuhn can get a bit of pace, and Adam Ida's got the pace to get past defenders. I'm hoping that we can hit them on the break, the counter-attack, and Kuhn gets the ball in, and Adam Ida slides it into the back of the net. That's one to watch out for tonight. And then you've also got Dyson Maeda, who's got a fantastic bit of pace also. On the bench, you've got Sinisalo and Bain. Bain's only on the bench for the Scottish contingent, although there is a rule that you need to have more than two keepers, I'm sure. You've then got Palmer on the bench. I expect a full change of subs at some point tonight. Will he bring on Palmer to try and get a little bit more tricky towards the end of the game? He'll definitely bring on Kyogo. Will he bring on Luke McCowan and Yang? I don't think he should bring on Yang. I just don't get Yang at all at the moment. 2 minutes. McCowan, Rocky's just there. Well, just in case anything goes wrong with a defender. Paulo Bernardo, I expect Paulo Bernardo and Kyogo to come in. Will he bring James Forrest on to try and do something that no other Celtic player can do on the night, and that's come off the wing and score? Do you know that James Forrest is a little tricky player still, and he still has the ability to sneak past the Italians. They will hold off if James Forrest does, because they know that he can hit a ball from outside the box. And then you've got to admit that Tony Ralston and Stephen Welsh are just there for the Scottish contingent, and they will be sitting on the bench all night. I don't think that they will get brought on at all unless there's injury to Alex Baye, and let's hope that there isn't, or the one and only Alistair Johnston in Ralston's case. It shows that we are still weak in the left back area. It's something that Brendan Rodgers will think about in the next couple of weeks. We're getting excited yet. I've got a killie pie in the fridge and I'm going to heat it up, says Tam Mack. Personally, I hate all the intuition and feeling talk, says Bobski. Yeah, I do as well. I don't let's just see how the game pans out. Christ, the Dortmund highlights are on. Us getting pumped. I've officially got PTSD after that. Just go and watch the highlights of the Dortmund game last night, and it'll show how they were mauled in Spain. It says we need hearts of lions tonight. We need more than hearts and lions. Crisps, cubes and sweet corn. Tamat says he's got a killie pie. Jim says I bet McCowan in for Engels at some point in the later half. Remember 40 to 1 Celtic. That's me done and dusted. I will be on at half time for a quick 10-minute chat at half time, and then we'll be on for an hour after the game this evening, so we can talk about everything Celtic, and we can listen into some of the interviews as they come through. Come on, you boys in green. Come on, just do it for those fans. Do it for those fans in the absolute chucking rain. I mean, look at the weather. It's just horrible, isn't it? Maybe they'll enjoy playing in that, and they'll think it's home. They'll think it's a home game. Anyway, who knows? On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, evening, wherever you are, Celtic fans all around the world.